Every single day, up and down the country, people go into the gym or they try and do some exercise, which they ultimately despise. And funnily enough, this is actually the reason as to why people don't commit to a fitness, or more specifically a fat loss journey, indefinitely. They end up falling off track a few weeks after starting it, or a couple of months if they're lucky. They get really, really frustrated that they can't lose weight, they can't lose fat, they can't stick to the gym. End up pressing the fuck it button, ultimately leading them to lose even more progress and get into a worse position than what they were when they started, and therefore making them even less confident, even less happy than what they were. Until you get to around summertime, and then people are like, oh shit, I do need to sort myself out. I don't want to go on holiday feeling like shit. And then the cycle ensues, which is fucking mental, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing to a certain extent, the chances of you sticking to it are 2 centimetres short of jack shite. Think about it. When was the last time that you actually stuck to something which you didn't enjoy? Or at least put in a decent amount of effort into something that you didn't enjoy? You look at work. Do you actually go in and put 110% effort into work if you ultimately despise the job that you're in? Or if somebody forces you to go to the gym or forces you to go for a run, do you put 100% effort into that? And do you stick to it? 9 times out of 10, the answer to that question is a massive no. And the reason why is because you just don't enjoy it. You're doing it because you think that you have to do it, rather than because you want to do it. And the same goes with nutrition. Countless times people adopt meal plans or diet plans, or go with like a specific diet company, or try out one of the countless fad diets that we've got in the world at the moment. And they stick to it for an allotted period of time, but eventually, almost guaranteed, they will fall off it. Or if they don't fall off it, then once they stop doing it out of choice, or because they think they've gotten the results that they want, they'll most likely regress once they come off it. Because deep down, it wasn't easy, it wasn't enjoyable, it wasn't smooth, and it did nothing to teach you the specific behaviours and habits that you will need to ensure that you sustain your results for life. Dare I say it, to an extent, enjoyment may actually be more important to your fitness journey than a calorie deficit. Because a calorie deficit on its own is fine, but it's useless if you can't stick with it. It doesn't matter if you get into a calorie deficit, once or twice throughout the week. That's not going to get you results. Adopting a diet which you actually enjoy, which you don't mind, which you don't consider a chore, but also creates a calorie deficit, will ensure that you're going to stick to that longer, easier, and therefore will guarantee you more results, especially sustained in the long term. So you've got to make sure that you are doing something that you consider not a chore, because if you don't, you're just going to be relying on this fabled thing that we call motivation. Like, let's take for example going out on the piss at the weekends. Do you really need somebody to motivate you to go to Snail and Cabbage for 2-for-1 cocktails on a Saturday afternoon? Of course not. In fact, you're most probably the person that has to ask people if they want to go. You put in the cards early on a Thursday afternoon, what are we doing this weekend, girls? Or do you fancy some pints, lads? You don't need motivated to do that, because you want to do that. The value that you're going to get from that is worth the effort that you're putting in. The effort that you got to put in is you've got to organise a time, a date, you've got to get dressed up, do all your pre-game rituals, and then you've got to turn up. And the value that you're going to get is you're going to have a class day or a class night with your mates. So the value that you're going to get from it is worth that initial effort. And this is the exact concept that you need to start applying to the gym and to your nutrition. You need to get it so the effort required to do it is worth the value that you're going to get. The effort of doing the gym routine must be worth the enjoyment, the progression, the badassery that you're going to get, and all the valuable things about it, such as improvement in confidence, improvement in strength, improvement in muscle tone. But the effort, you need to actually want to do it, because if you don't want to do it, the effort in doing it is going to be astronomical. But if you actually enjoy doing it, the effort involved in doing it isn't going to be as large. So what you need to remember is this: there are certain constants within your nutrition and your training that you need to adhere to. These constants are as follows. If you want to lose fat, you need to be creating a calorie deficit. There's no ifs, buts or maybes about it. You need to be creating one. If you want to get stronger, if you want to build up muscle, or in quote marks tone up in the gym, you need to adopt progressive overload. So you need to be focusing on progressing a certain exercise or a certain series of exercises every single week in order for your body to adapt. These two things need to be stick to, but the method can be whatever the fuck you want. And in an ideal world, it's something that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, as I said previously, you won't find it as hard to stick to. And for the majority of people watching, an enjoyable diet would be one where you can actually fit in everything that makes you happy, such as chocolate, such as cake, such as 5 Jaeger bombs on a Saturday afternoon. This kind of diet doesn't really mean that you've got to restrict yourself from a lot of shit, and therefore it's enjoyable. But the thing that will make it work is you need to be accountable to it, and you need to be mindful of it. Don't restrict yourself from enjoying your day or enjoying your food or enjoying your nights out, but restrain yourself from taking the piss. That kind of diet right there, enjoyable. And then let's take the gym. Think of it like this. The gym is like an ice cream shop. If you have a friend that takes you to an ice cream shop every single day and forces upon you an ice cream flavour which tastes like absolute dick. Let's say it's actually praline and dick flavour. Now, unless you like the taste of dick, then it's most probably not going to be for you. But if you continually have that praline and dick flavoured ice cream, every time you go into the ice cream parlour, you're eventually going to believe that it's ice cream that you don't like, when in fact it's probably just the flavour. It's only after you go searching for different flavours of ice cream, strawberry ripple, cookie dough, fish food, baked Alaska, or if you're anything like me, vanilla. It's only after you find the ice cream flavour that you actually enjoy eating and which you don't mind sticking to eating because you like the flavour of it, but sticking to eating ice cream doesn't become an issue. And as I said, apply this to the gym. Start looking at all the different types and variations of exercises that are available to you, especially in the gym, and find a selection which you actually enjoy doing. Find a selection which you actually don't need motivation to do. You do them because you want to do, whether that's because the exercise itself is enjoyable or the value that you're getting from it is enjoyable and beneficial to you. Because if you find an exercise routine or a series of exercises or a style of training which you enjoy, you will never have an issue with motivation again. You will never have an issue with adherence again. You'll never have an issue with sustainability again. You'll be doing all of this because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. And that is ultimately going to result in you getting progress and getting results forever. If this video has helped, please feel free to give it a like, comment below what you think, or alternatively, subscribe if you want to catch the next one. And if you want any more free fitness, fat loss tips without any of the typical bullshit you see in the fitness industry at the moment, feel free to follow my Instagram at k.p_health and stick around for the information, but also for the laughs. Anyway, peace.